What Toby has in his hand is too thick to fire, so it's important to start hollowing it out. The only thing that's done to this pinch pot so far is putting a thumb into the inside. It goes almost to the bottom. Toby's going to demonstrate how we do a pinch pot. So we round it out.
You do this. You do this. Keep doing it on every side, and then you twist it in your hands, and then you put your thumb in.
Yep, and we're going to put our thumb almost to the bottom to open it up.
Until you can feel it.
Yep, until we can feel. The clay almost break through, our thumbs break through.
And then you can maybe make it a little bigger and do this.
Yep, we're pinching it. We want to keep pinching it to make it bigger. We're going to continue to pinch the clay, just like this, to make two about the same size. So that doesn't really matter if they're not exactly the same size. One of the important things is we've thinned out the clay, so we're making something that's large without having a really large mass of clay. It is opening the clay up to thin it out. Next step in a few minutes, Toby and Jeremy, and as we work on the second part of our pinch pot, we've opened them up about the same size. Next step is we're crumpling up some newspaper, getting it pretty tight, stuffing it inside our pinch pot. Now the reason we do that is to help support the pinch pot so that when we put them together and shape it, it doesn't collapse. Now Toby can dip his fingers into the slip, putting it around the lip. Good job. Toby is working on putting lots of wet or watery clay, which is slip. You can create your own at home. Now we're going to take each piece and put them on top of each other,
like this.
Just like that. And then we're going to focus on blending. So I'm taking, these fingers are blending the clay. So blending is taking your thumb or fingers and just smoothing it from one place to the other. That's what Toby's doing now. He's blending it so it's looking like it is one single piece. We want to smooth it out as much as we can. Blend it together all the way around it. You can work as a team if need be, all the way around it. And then we're going to move on to the next blend. We can cup our hands, we can round it out. You can create the shape of your head or whatever it might be. Now remember, this is hollow. It's a large piece. You've made a large piece of clay. It's hollow. We want it to be able to stand up. It's too wobbly. So what I'm going to do is tap it just a little bit, flatten it out at the bottom. That way we have a nice flat edge. We want to put our name and code on the bottom to carve it, to make sure it's visible. When it's fired, nothing else will work. Markers, pencils, pins, anything else will burn off. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get a little more clay. And the clay that I use, I can start to create the head. Now our eyes are located approximately in the center of our head. I'm going to take my thumbs, a little bit of space in between them, creating a spot for the eyes. And then what I can do is I can know where the nose goes now. So I'm creating kind of a cartoonish character. This is going to be a nose right in between the eyes here, blend it together just a little bit. And I'm starting to create a big nose. I can even take my fingers and create the nostrils. And then I can decide how to create some eyeballs. These are going to be big eyeballs right here. Dipping them in the slip, making sure it is well connected. Dip, squish, and blend when possible. There's the eyes. Now, maybe this has a unibrow. So we're putting something right across here. Kind of a crazy look here, starting. I can create some lips, and I want to roll a coil out to create the lips, just like this. Put some slip on them. I can fold it, and I can create some lips right here. Now you can create an animal out of this too. You can shape it in any direction you want. Just remember, if it's going to be something with thin legs, it needs to be sitting down. Animals with thin legs will not stand up. And having a base or something flat is always good. Now, a few of the other things you can do is create some ears. I'm going to have us pause for a minute, and Toby is going to do a few of the other pieces. On some ears and some eyes. Now, as we work on some eyes, we can use a toothpick, we can poke some eyes, we can draw on it, we can do any kinds of designs. It's good to soften rough edges up. Toby can work on some ears and some hair out of clay if he wants to. Now, you can squish the ears, you can make them pointed, you can make them round. You want to keep them somewhat thick. We're going to use slip to attach it around the edges. and then we're going to connect it to the head. So now he's going to connect it to the head. It can be any way he wants. It can be flat, it could be headphones, you can even bend them out. However you want to do the ears is totally up to you. This is your project, so you make it any way you want. One thing that would be helpful is in the back, I can take my thumb or fingers and blend it together. So in one spot, if it's blended, it's safer and it'll stay on. You can make coils for the hair. And then one important thing that we're going to do, if I could have you pause for just a minute, Toby. On the bottom, we want to dig a finger in, and the reason I do that is I'm going to dig until I can feel the newspaper. After we make sure we can feel the newspaper, we want to add any other details at the top. We have blending and we have the hole. Now we can enjoy our piece.